Most people think net worth tells the whole story. If two households both have a net worth of $500,000, most people assume they are equally financially healthy. But they may be completely different financially. One household may be highly liquid, flexible, resilient, and financially stable. The other may be deeply fragile, overloaded with debt, dependent on continued income, and only one disruption away from financial stress. The number itself doesn't tell the full story, and this is one of the biggest problems in personal finance education, because net worth without structure can be deeply misleading. In this video, we begin analyzing something far more important, not just how much wealth exists, but what the financial structure is actually built from. Recall that net worth is simply assets minus liabilities. That's it. And while that calculation is useful, it ignores something critically important: asset quality, liability quality, liquidity, and flexibility. For example, imagine household A owns a home, has retirement investments, minimal debt, cash reserves, and low monthly obligations. Now compare that to household B. Same exact net worth, but almost entirely tied up in a highly leveraged home, vehicles financed, large monthly obligations, and very little liquid cash. Mathematically, their net worth may be identical. Structurally, they are completely different systems. And this is where we begin moving beyond basic personal finance into what's called financial architecture. Not all assets behave the same way. Some assets produce future flexibility. Others consume future flexibility. A productive asset may generate income, it may appreciate, it may reduce future financial pressure, or increase future optionality. Examples might include investments, businesses, productive real estate, education, or skills that increase earnings power. Consumptive assets are different. They may decline in value, require ongoing cash outflows, increase fixed cost obligations, and reduce future flexibility. And this does not necessarily mean they are bad. A vehicle may be necessary, a home may improve quality of life, but structurally they behave differently. This distinction becomes extremely important later when we analyze liquidity, leverage, forecasting, and long-term financial resilience. One of the biggest hidden risks in personal finance is illiquidity, because wealth that cannot quickly become usable cash may not protect you during stress. This creates a very important distinction. Being wealthy is not always the same thing as being financially resilient. A household may have high home equity, expensive vehicles, retirement assets, and a strong net worth on paper, while simultaneously struggling to survive a job loss, a medical issue, rising interest rates, or an unexpected expense. Why? Because the structure lacks flexibility, and flexibility is one of the most important concepts in this entire series. Most people focus only on how much debt exists, but the structure of debt matters just as much. For example, fixed rate debt behaves differently than floating rate debt. Revolving debt behaves differently than amortizing debt. Short-term obligations behave differently than long-term obligations. Two households may owe the same amount, but one structure may be dramatically more fragile. Because certain debt structures increase sensitivity to interest rates, increase monthly rigidity, reduce flexibility, and amplify financial stress during disruptions. This becomes especially important once we begin analyzing financial leverage, liquidity risk, and solvency. The goal of personal finance is not simply maximizing numbers. It is designing a structure that can survive shocks, adapt to uncertainty, maintain flexibility, and create future opportunity. That is financial resilience. And throughout this module, we're going to begin analyzing liquidity, solvency, asset quality, liability risk, and financial flexibility through the lens of household financial architecture. Because ultimately, the question is not how much do you own? The real question is how strong is the structure underneath it? In the next video, we begin analyzing one of the most important forms of financial resilience, liquidity, because many households appear financially healthy until cash flow stops. And when that happens, the question becomes, how long could the structure survive?